The work of Vladimir Jankélévitch, Forgiveness, or Le Pardon, first appearing in 1967, is a profound philosophical exploration into the nature, limits, and ethical consequences of forgiveness. Jankélévitch probes the complexities of forgiving, especially in the context of crimes of extreme moral gravity, such as the Holocaust. With an insightfully introspective and analytical mind, he distinguishes between true forgiveness, which is unconditional and immediate, and a series of pseudo-forms of forgiveness that are conditional, transactional, or linked with forgetting. Jankélévitch initiates the definition of forgiveness and distinguishes it from related concepts such as excuse, amnesty, and forgetting. He makes it firm that authentic forgiveness is gratuitous and independent of repentance on the part of the offender, or the gravity of the offense. Jankélévitch insists that authentic forgiveness needs to be given unconditionally, and neither repentance nor reparation is expected from the wrongdoer. But he does note that absolute forgiveness is hardly possible because it would clash with man's ideas about justice and memory. Temporal decay, the irreversibility of time. Jankélévitch discusses the relation between time and forgiveness. He warns us that the passage of time can naturally make the feeling of resentment fade away, often mistaken for forgiveness. However, according to him, this temporal decay is not genuine forgiveness, since it doesn't have anything to do with an act of absolution that must be a conscious and intentional one. The ethical limits of forgiveness. Jankélévitch insists that one cannot demand or order forgiveness. It is a gift which only the victim could give. He wonders whether anyone has the right to forgive in the name of the dead, especially in cases of mass atrocities. The excuse to understand is to forgive. Jankélévitch distinguishes entre-excuser and pardonner. He is right that an understanding of why someone has acted badly can excuse the offender, but an intellectual act of comprehension cannot be equated with a moral act of forgiveness. Forgiveness, he insists, involves an act of the will beyond understanding and intelligence. Mad forgiveness, acumen venii. Jankélévitch considers mad forgiveness, an absolute and unconditional kind of forgiveness, given without expectation of repentance or change. He discusses the paradoxes and ethical dilemmas of such radical forgiveness, questioning whether it is morally appropriate or even possible in all circumstances. Overall, Acumen Venii presents a deeply moral and philosophical reflection on the paradoxes of forgiving without conditions, especially in the face of extreme injustice. Jankélévitch warns against the confusion of forgiveness with forgetfulness. Genuine forgiveness knows evil in all its weight and opts for forgiveness in spite of that. Forgetfulness, however, trivializes or even abolishes the past. The unforgivable, more unfortunate than wicked, more wicked than unfortunate. This chapter is concerned with acts that defy the concept of forgiveness. Jankélévitch discusses whether there are any actions that are so nefarious that they exceed the limits of forgiveness. He takes into consideration, morally and philosophically, the very real possibility of labeling an act unforgivable. In the concluding chapter, Jankélévitch considers the limits of forgiveness, those acts that are too atrocious to accept even the possibility of absolution. He weighs the ideal of unconditional forgiveness against moral outrage, and leaves the reader to consider whether absolute forgiveness is possible or desirable. Jankélévitch's Forgiveness is the seminal text in moral philosophy that asks his readers to consider the profound and often paradoxical nature of forgiveness in the face of human wrongdoing. His work underlines the complexity of granting forgiveness, the ethical dilemmas involved, and the moral weight of deeming certain acts unforgivable. By doing so, we honor the memories of those who have suffered and strive to build a future rooted in compassion, justice, and understanding. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more philosophical explorations. Here are details of the book. Outro music fades in.